Hello model railroad fans, welcome to Vintage Road and Rail. In today's video we're going to take a look at a unique train set that I had never seen before. So give me just a second to get set up on the tripod and I will get this box open and we'll take a quick look. Give me just 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, well let's get things started off here by opening up this box, and then we'll see what we got inside here. So I already broke the tape and everything off camera because this thing was a bear to open up. Kind of a unusual box. Alright, so it looks like it's packaged pretty well. We got a lot of paper here to serve as some padding, and I see paper on the bottom. So that's all looking good. So there should be a locomotive, 3 train cars, and a caboose in here. So let's just start pulling things out one at a time. And we'll take a closer look. And as I'm opening this up, I'll let you know some details as to what I do know about this. Alright, so let me get my knife open here, if we need a knife. Alright, so this is actually a train set that's put out by Mantua, and I was just perusing eBay probably a couple of weeks ago at this point, and came across this when I was doing a search for the word Goodyear, and this train set came up. Like I said, it is put out by Mantua. I'm not entirely sure when, but I'm thinking it's probably about around maybe 1999, 2000. It does still have horn hook couplers, so it's not something super modern. And what I could find is that this was a Matchbox train set. So here's our caboose. Looks really nice. I love this black and gold color. Looks almost like Oakland Raiders colors. That is, if they're still in Oakland. I'm not sure where they are. But anyway, let's take a closer look at this caboose. So you can see here it says Matchbox Railroad. We got safety first. And we've got some nice molded in detail here. Our little smokestack is intact. And that's one of the things that the seller noted, is all the handrails, couplers, wheels, everything was present and in good shape. So right here we have our ladder and our railing, and we've got our brake wheel, and we've got a little detail for the chain, and pretty much the other side is identical to the previous side, and again on this end pretty much identical to the other end. And as I said, this does have horn hook couplers. It looks like plastic wheels. Yeah, those are definitely plastic wheels. And we've got a little bit of detail on the caboose itself, or the bottom of the caboose I should say. So let's set that aside for a moment, and let's reach in for the next piece. There's supposed to be, I don't know if I mentioned it already, 3 cars and a caboose, and of course a locomotive. So here we have what looks to be a boxcar. So let's see if we can get this open. I have to say the seller did a pretty good job of wrapping everything up. Alright. And here is our boxcar. Alright. So again we have the Matchbox Railroad, but here it says Goodyear. And again we have some molded in detail with some paint accents. We've got a ladder here that goes all the way up. The stirrups are intact. Let's see if they are on both sides. Yes, they are. Both sides. And we have a door that opens. And it looks like a fairly heavy weight in there. I can't completely tell, but it looks a little thicker than the norm. So both of these sides are identical. We've got a fair amount of molded in detail. Looks pretty good in my opinion. On the top, everything looks good. Here's our little walkway. And we've got a molded in ladder here, but it is painted so that it stands out and looks really nice. Door slid open there, but that is identical to the other side. Let me make sure I'm keeping this in frame here. And again, we have the molded in ladder, but it's got some good paint accent. And we have our brake wheel. And as before, we have horn hook couplers. Both of them are there. Plastic wheels, but that's an easy upgrade. And we've got a little bit of molded in detail here on the bottom. So let's set that aside. And this should be a tank car. So let me kind of pull it off camera here a little bit and break this tape loose. There we go. Alright, so let's unroll that here. And here is our tank car. So let's get this plastic out of the way. Alright, so it's just a single dome tank car. Mostly silver but black, just like the others, except those others were mostly black with silver. And here we have our Matchbox railroad, but we have Pennzoil for the oil company represented on this tank car. And you can see we have our grab irons. They are there. The stirrups are intact, and our ladder is present. Looks like that's not a, I don't know if that's a separate piece or if it is, it's kind of glued in. It's not like the typical pop out that you would see on your older Tyco, Bachmann, Lifelike cars. Nothing really to see on this end. Pretty much identical right here to the other side. And nothing again on that end. But we do have a little spot where you could put your hazard sign. That's really nice. And on top, we've got a little bit of detail for the tank dome. And on the bottom, not a lot of detail, but a little bit. Horn hook couplers, wheels, all present, look to be in good shape. And of course, we see it's made in China. All right, before we get to the locomotive, this next piece is what really kind of makes this set stand out and makes it a little bit special. So this is it here, all wrapped up. But I'm going to take this off camera and unwrap it because it has a load that I don't want to drop out and go crash into the table. So just bear with me here as I get this tape loose. This tape wants to hold on a little bit better. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to unroll this here, and I'm going to set the load to the side, and we will look at that in just a moment. But here is our flat car. Again, it's a silver and black, just like the others. But in this case, it looks to be mostly silver because of this flatbed. And it's got some nice weight to it. So we got a little bit of road detail here. Our stirrups are intact. Excuse me. We have a little bit of detail on the bottom. Not too bad, actually. And really, this doesn't need to be... This molded in detail is just fine by me. I mean, really, how often are you going to be looking at the bottom of your car? And I don't like a whole lot of extra, you know, gibble on the bottom that can just get broken off. Our horn hook couplers, wheels, all present. Stirrups are intact on all sides. Alright, so if you had noticed from looking at these cars, and actually you can see it in small lettering here, the Matchbox Railroad, the key word to this is Matchbox. So this set actually comes with a pair of Matchbox cars that sit on this flatbed. The little wheels will just sit in these little grooves, for a lack of a better word. This one looks to be a 57 Chevy. Oh, it actually has a hood that raises up. Those look really nice. So let's, oh, I don't think I had that in frame. So let's give these a quick go around. So here's our roof. Here's our driver's side. Here's the view from the back. Our passenger side. Our view from the front. Oop, getting out of focus a little bit there. And here's the bottom. And as I mentioned, this opens. So let's give this other one a similar walk around. So here is the top-down view. Here's our driver's side. And there's the bottom. And there's the view from the back. This is what you would see if you was tailgating. And here's our passenger side view. And this is our front view. Really nice, classic, looks like 50s cars. I have no idea what this is, and the seller didn't mention it in the listing. I'm assuming this is a 57 Chevy, but I could be wrong. Alright, so let's now look at the last piece, and that's going to be the Locomotive. And this has a fair amount of weight to it, right here. Now while I'm opening it, the seller did say this is tested and runs in both directions. And I think he said the light works as well. And that this is a GP20, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and get this out of the plastic. Oh wow, he did a really good job. So this would be a complete train set. I don't have the box to this, unfortunately. I will try to post a picture of it if I can find it somewhere during this video. But I know the set would have come with a loop track and a power pack. Unfortunately, all I've got is the actual set, but I don't really particularly care about those other parts. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this cardboard out, which I have got to give the seller some props for fashioning those and putting them in there, because that made sure these handrails stayed in good shape while in transit. Just bear with me as I pull these off. I want to actually hang on to these because I'll have to put it in storage temporarily. So I'm going to put these back on. Alright, so here is our EMD GP20 Locomotive. And again, you see on the side it says Matchbox Railroad. Its road number is 175. Handrails seem to be pretty solid. They are plastic, but they're in great shape. I don't see anything broken. And we've got some windows here, and we got some molded in detail, so you can't really see through these for these grills, and the molded detail in here for the doors and everything. That all looks really good. So let's flip over to the bottom, and I believe we have 8-wheel drive, 8-wheel pickup. And this is going to be a screw that we use if we want to get inside the locomotive. Again, we have our horn hooks. Our ladders, or our steps, are in great shape. So we've got our road number here. We've got some molded in grab irons. Everything looks really good right here. This side is pretty much identical to the previous side. But again, everything looks great. Nothing broken. And we'll go over to the front. And here's our headlight. And here's our road numbers. And here's our handrail. It's really good and solid. It doesn't have a chain going across here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there. It doesn't look like it's broken, but I'm not sure on that. It almost feels like metal, but no, that's plastic. Alright, so up top, we've got our horn, a bell, we've got our smokestack, and then we have some exhaust fans to keep everything good and cool. Alright, so that is a walk around for all the components of this unique train set. Like I said, I was just looking on eBay just to see what was new, and stumbled across this, and I just had to have it. I just thought it would be a unique piece to my collection. So I was lucky enough to win the auction, and here it is. Alright, so give me just a moment. I'm going to clear this packing material off the table, and I will get this all set up on the track, and then we will take a couple laps around, and then we can close out this video. Alright, so hang tight, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are all set up on the track here, and I've disconnected my DCC controller and hooked up my standard DC. Didn't want to risk any damage to the motor. Alright, so let's see if the seller is telling the truth that this runs. Well, she's moving. Look at that. That looks really nice. That's got a pretty good slow speed too. So let's get a view of it just as it goes by here as my camera tries to adjust. So there's our box car. There's our flat car with our two Matchbox cars. There's our tank car. And there's our Caboose. So let's just kind of back up here where we can kind of get the whole train table. That is a really nice slow speed. I imagine if I was to put a DCC decoder in there, it would do even better. Let's pick it up a little bit. And let's see if that headlight's working. The light is working. Looks like it's one that just lights up the whole cab. But that's okay. I don't want to have this going too fast because I don't want to risk knocking those cars off. Alright, so let me see if I can just be quiet for a couple moments and we'll just get a little bit of footage. I must say, we're getting out of focus here. Alright, I must say this is a beautiful train set. I love the black and silver theme. I love the two vintage, or I guess I should say classic, Matchbox cars that this flat car is carrying as a load. Seems to be running good and smooth. Sounds like it might need a little bit of lubrication. But otherwise, this is a beautiful, beautiful set. Mantua did a good job with this. I like collecting these different train sets. They just, I guess, appeal to my collectible nature. But I also like running real world stuff as well. Alright, well, that is a look at this Mantua Matchbox Railroad train set. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure and hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know down in the comments what you think of this train set. If you have one, you know, I'd like to hear about it, what your thoughts are of it. And that pretty much wraps this up. But before I go, I'm recording this on the 22nd and should have it loaded up either on the same day or by the next day, so it'll be just before Christmas of 2021. So I would like to take a quick moment to thank everyone that has joined me in my model railroading journey this year, and just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Alright, well, thank you again for joining me at Vintage Road and Rail. You all take care, and happy model railroading. See you next time.